So I was talking to a friend today, and she said, I've heard it before, but then you hear it differently. Depends upon what season that you are in your life. But she said to me, she said, "To much is given, much is required." And that got me thinking because these past couple of days, you know, in the process of going through things and experiencing things, you feel like all this can't be for nothing. I done had some woes and some woos in my life, and now I'm at a point in my life where my latter days are better than my former days. And I just been fortunate enough to be grateful enough that God has blessed me with a lot of opportunities, but people see the glory, but they don't know the story. So there's a lot of different facets that makes up in a person's life. But the blessing that I would like to share today is this. Now, I have never known anyone who have picked a house out of a blueprint. I mean, my parents did, but I wasn't part of the process. And so they have put a blueprint down and went through having a house built. But to have it done for yourself, that's a different kind of feeling. I mean, to want a house and to have a house is one thing. And when you walk into a house that you design or that you have recreated for you, then it's a different process than going into a house that is already there and you just buy it because it's available. It's a blessing nonetheless, but I say I don't have a direct resource because my mom and dad are deceased. So I don't have a direct resource when it comes to asking questions about different things about the building process. Now, I have people that look at destruction and they be like, "Oh, that house is going to be huge." But me, the house seems average or small. But I guess depending upon where you're coming from. So it depends upon where perspective you see your giants. Also depends upon where perspective you see your blessings. Now, not that I'm saying that I see this as a small blessing, but it's a great feat nonetheless. But what I'm saying is that this blessing is mighty and it's been a long time coming, but people just not seeing the manifestation of this blessing. This blessing took a lot of faith, a lot of prayers, a lot of fasting, a lot of praying, to be able to receive this blessing. So I understand what the toil and what the work was like to be able to receive the blessing, but all you seeing is that it's the bloom at the end of the stem. So you looking at the potential beauty that is to come, but you don't know the root work. And that's where we at. So speaking of the root work, let's look at it. So I have said that within myself because I do not know what I'm looking at, that my goals are to come out here every day and to make a video and to start posting such said video. Now where all of this is going to go, if anything come of it, I don't know. I just know that I want to talk about it and I don't have nobody that I can talk to. So, and I know that a picture, it speaks 1,000 words, but a video speaks 10,000. And so it's just easier for me to show you on a video than to be able to capture everything on a picture in totality. So, and I say this, and what I decided to do, because when I look back over my life and I think things over, I can truly say that I am blessed. I have a testimony. And a lot of times we look at the struggles of our lives and we don't really look at the fact that that we are overcomers. And in the process of overcomers, that we are supposed to tell our story. So in a part of telling our story, the reason why I am so fortunate and so blessed to be in this situation I'm in right now, what you fail to realize is that you're walking through a dream. This has always been a dream. I had already, before I saw this house, I had sketched out my laundry room, sketched out how I want my bedroom to be, and the general layout of my kitchen. And so I done brought blueprint books, and matter of fact, the book that this blueprint was found in, I had about 4 years before I actually found it. And then once I found it, it still took us 2 years to work towards the dream. This is the dream. So it took 2 years to be able to work towards all of this. And so now here we are, considering all the sacrifices that has been made throughout to make this dream. And when I even saw this dream in a book, by this time, my husband and I, we're down to one child in the house. And he was like, why do you need a house that big that we about to not have children in the house any longer? And was, can you see a dream and not reach for it? Does it make sense that you can be able to get your dream? My mama always used to say, nothing beat a failure but a try. So I'd rather try to get the dream. And then if the dream is unattainable, I can at least say I tried. But I say that to say this, to see a dream that's within arm's length, that's past arm's length, because you're going to have to stretch. You're going to have to stretch your faith. This was a lot of faith stretching. Yeah, it took faith to be able to stretch to this. Because for one, my husband was the provider of the family. So I never really had an income. And as being a child of a parent that always provided, and you always had what you needed, but you might not necessarily always have what you want. But being a child of a person that achieved what they went out for, how can I not try? And having the spouse that I have gives me the audacity to dream, because he is beyond a provider. He is a helpmate. He is a dream maker. God, the dream giver, but my husband partnered with God to be a dream maker, because through this vision that I have for this home, that I was able for him to be able to line up with the vision for us to be able to move forward and to be able to attain this. It's truly a blessing. And for those that know me, that really know me, not the ones that think they know me, but for those who really know me, know that this has been a long time coming. Knew that ability to be able to obtain, but didn't know that my perseverance and my tenacity will pay off. For God, I'm thankful for every lasting blessing. And I'm thankful for this opportunity to be able to share this, because may this process be a resource to somebody else in the future. Because oftentimes when you don't know nobody who had the process, then you don't know nobody to ask. Now your process, once you go through this, might not be the same as my process. And that this video gonna be ill-staken of because I made it. I'm sure it's gonna be, oh, she's showing off and she this and that. But that's your perspective. To much is given, much is required. And I know that this opportunity did not come to me for me not to share it. For we do not know what we're doing in this process. We just had to get a builder that we trust enough to trust the process. So, but because God is the dream giver, we trusted enough, even though our giants was in the valley, but God said that we can have the promised land. We trusted enough to dare to dream. And now the dream is becoming a manifestation. It is becoming a manifestation. So, me sharing my dream is to help you inspire to conquer your dream. You're not too old, you're not too poor, you're not too black, and you're not too ugly to get whatever dream that you have out there that you want to accomplish. It's never too late. And God, I'm thankful. I'm humbled that you chose me to be your child to bless. That you chose me to be the inspiration, to be the resource to set the way. Now, I'll be coming to you every day. Even if it rains and we don't do nothing. I vow to do a blog every day. So even probably with putting everything together, we've probably been working now, off and on, bringing the piles of dirt. Probably been working probably about a month now. So we very new in the process. This is the piping work before they lay the foundation. We are getting what's called a monolithic slab. I think that's what they call it. I'll verify that and get back to you. But if I'm not mistaken, it's called a monolithic slab, where all your plumbing will be in the ground. There's pros and cons to that. And I'll come back to you with that. But right now I'm just talking about the general pipe work out here. So this is the process is going to start moving very quickly. So I wanted to start sharing so that this may be a resource to somebody who's going through getting their house built. Going through getting a house built and you don't know the process. So this is the general process. So the plumbing will be like the intestines in a body. So if you're looking at the house as being a body, your plumbing will be like your intestines, like where you swallow. So everything that takes in be considered an intake, like toilets, sinks, and then where it shall go to expel. Even your wash machine letting out would also be a source of like an intake part of the home. But this is also have the sinks, the showers, where they have the output part of the home. So this is all the guts of the house before we encase it in. So if everything goes according to plan, and if it don't rain tomorrow, they will be pouring concrete. But again, I just want to share my blessing to inspire you to achieve yours.